see how long it's going to take to build. It's like 200 resources if I recall. Wait, didn't I just have that set to refit? I don't see it anymore, so maybe it is, and I'm just not noticing it. That's weird. Let me try that again. Refitting fleet. Okay, I think that is going on there. It's just not showing me it. Why is that? Or maybe I have to wait a turn. That's confusing me. I don't know what to believe anymore. So anyways, before I get myself confused anymore by this, let's just get everything else sorted out. Reese's belt, of course. Let's get that building more ships for me. Just finished with the Hornet, so I think I want to build a couple of soldiers because I have the free space to utilize it. I actually have tons of free frigates now because of the battleships, or the battle stations I just made, so that's perfect. Get me like, what is it, 5 or 6 free frigates? I can get 6, so that's gonna be good for the armory pushback. The battle station's almost done, I guess. I'm gonna have no choice but to leave it auto-resolve. Maybe I'll have better luck there. Maybe. I honestly wouldn't know, but gotta find out. Ralos, is that their homeworld? It looks like their homeworld. I'm seeing abundant ocean and several battleships right on top of each other. Oh no, not battleships, but I guess cruisers of sorts, which are following the exact same theme as before. So I'm going straight to Sec, which I guess is the actual homeworld. The name of the homeworld, I suppose. It's the only oceanic planet I see anyway, so it has to be it. So let's start moving towards Vulfar. Take out 2 homeworlds at once, shall we? That sounds like a good idea to me. All the planets are good, working. And we're going to destroy this pitiful fleet here. I think it's pitiful. It won't let me scroll down on it to see exactly what I'm up against. All I know is there's at least 1 battleship. Yeah, 1 battleship, battle station, and a handful of frigates and corvettes. So, no contest. Oh, that's my... I ended up clicking on my one random Mark 1 consort. That was still... that I missed actually refitting there. So I'm gonna have everything go in. Do the dance of death with this battleship here. And just let the fun begin. Just murder them. Dive right through. I just need to watch for my corvettes. Make sure they don't die needlessly. Oh, well, there again, the cruisers are standing still again, which I don't necessarily want. But that battleship's pretty much almost out of the fight anyway. Front shields are gone, no contest, and the battle station is about to suffer the same fate. It's kind of fun to watch them fall apart there slowly, because of the different sections they're coloring. And it's a battleship, so it can take a bit of a beating even with the lower, simpler type of weaponry and tech that it has on there. Nope, I think that was mine. It looked like a Federation frigate. I'm just not sure exactly. Oh well, afterwards we'll have to see what our losses look like. Just so I can start taking account for how much my fleet's weakening. Alright, there we are. A little bit of a delay for that. Kind of worrying the game it can't handle what's going on the game in the campaign so far. Small amount of damage on the Hercules. Tiny bit of damage elsewhere. And I didn't lose a single ship. So that was pretty flawless with very minor repairs need to be done. So I think that can easily be self-repaired. But of course, that damage on Hercules Beetle probably still means destroyed components, considering I don't have armor to kind of inflate the health of the internals just yet, since it doesn't look like it shows any shield damage. So this is going to be simple. This is all simple. I think it's safe to say I have a good grasp on the situation with the Federation and the Ralyeh, except for their main fleets, which, if they weren't being stupid on us now, with their fixation on the one worlds that they refuse to bomb, then maybe this campaign would be going a little bit differently. Needless to say. Although there's not a whole lot I can really comment on, unfortunately. We're just stuck having to put up with it and benefit from it. But it is really discouraging as well, because it almost feels like I'm cheating unintentionally to get the results I'm getting so far. So another flawless victory, not even a single Corvette. Kinda was expecting it though, considering this was even less sophisticated than the Federation fleet I just took out. And that just leaves Vulfar to... Well, I actually haven't even gotten to Raleigh's homeworld just yet. That was actually an intercepting planet that was just conveniently in the way. Okay, now we get the real fight, which looks like it's a bit weird how this display is working, but 2 cruisers, maybe battleships, although they look like regular cruisers, and a Corvette of some kind. At least that's all I can see. This layout's getting weirder and weirder, isn't it? The crazy bugs we've been having, which I don't quite understand is why just yet it's happening, but it is. Let's see how quickly those fighters die, I'm curious. Because my hard shields will probably have an effect as well, if it's not an actual upgrade that I need to get. I think it was just innately given, isn't it? I'll have to check quickly. Because I thought it was just an instant boost to shields. I didn't really check if it was a module or not, though. Because it's supposed to be really good against the fighters. At least how the description goes. Come on, loading screen, don't fail me now. We got so much work left to do. I have my troop transports at the ready, so let's get this done. Oh, I'm still a turn away. I was getting excited there first. Alright, there's the fleet. Ooh, perfect. Although, you can clearly tell this is some cheap play by the human fleet. They saw that I moved my fleet away, and so they think they can get away with 3 frigates. I'm not gonna have that. I don't even need a battle station to deal with that. I'm just gonna let that finish up. Actually, let me just switch it out. I don't need the resequencer just yet. I'll let that build a little bit to save up costs, and then just build the last moment when I need to defend. So, Reese is 3. Wow, after all that time I didn't get orbital habitats, or is it because I just been building citizens? That might have been why. Because I had this planned in forever. Oh, no, never mind, I'm wrong. This is one of the initial... This is on the Ralyeh border. I'm mistaking it with Ratfield. That was my mistake. I completely forget what this plan has, though. Okay, it's just an abundant world, nothing too exciting. Once I get terraforming, though, it could be all these worlds that I have will be pretty good, and it will pretty much start to make my asteroid worlds a little redundant, or a little less value, because the main worlds then are going to become so much more populated. Wow. Simply wow. Although, to be fair, they probably were using infantry from this world to try and attack Almery. So I just immediately take their homeworld from them. And I get swarm missiles. So, safe to say they're not to be happy? Oh, and they're too kind. They give me back the citizens that I traded with them way back. Well, at least one of them. So I thank them kindly for that generosity, at least. And I guess we'll start putting them back to work. And even though it's such a massive world, apparently we're at oh, never mind. I figured it would be negative. I'm not seeing negative for some reason. Oh yeah, it's because of the base approval, that's why. So we got their home world, which is always nice. And I'm gonna put this to good use. Safe to say, this conflict with the Ralyeh is gonna be over fairly soon. As well as with the poor Vulfar. Corsi 2, that I think is almost completely done with its population building efforts. Not to mention it's already like doing a lot, has a lot of scientists there, so let me just keep throwing them over. And the Trinity B has the private shipyards now, so that's good. Because I can utilize that. Okay, the refit's almost done. I wasn't really checking it too much, but it says it'll be another turn if I read that correctly. So now we just gotta get the fleet assembled. I'm kind of excited to try this out. And to finish off the Ralyeh once and for all. And, as a consolation prize, let's take Vulfar. Only 2 infantry. Which is kind of a shame that these homeworlds are so poorly valued. Because I'm taking them, they're pretty much the easiest to take so far. I'm gonna have to see if the Federation put up a better fight or not. Just to simulate and conquer all, I guess, is the theme of this one. And I'm not even the Borg. Although I was fancying the idea is if I was gonna make like a custom personality for one of the races there, I would have done the Opteris and played them like the Borg, essentially. I just wouldn't know how exactly to go about that, aside for either making them high-tech base or making them really good slavers or something. To kind of steal the civilians from people, as in the simulation process, or just make them really smart and technology based. Because it would be hard to do, I think. With the point value, possibly. We'll have to see. Otherwise, Vulfar is mine, And this is gonna be a really good production world for me. Who cares about the pollution? I'm just gonna put it to use to build my fleet up in this region of space. Because it is gonna have to be kind of independent. Because I don't plan on sending any more ships through the wormhole. I just gotta give it like 20 or so turns or however long it's gonna take to get the population up in order. That and a couple of other buildings that they have here to kind of boost the approval rates. Since none of them working though, we'll just get them farming. Because everyone wants food apparently, and that's the only thing they'll actually do for me. Although my income is starting to actually about to flatline, so I think I'm gonna need to stop conquering or for the time being. I think I'm pushing a little more than I can handle until all these worlds start cooperating with me. So Vulfar 1 is gonna be the last one I take up here before I stop and let things settle. Alright, time to auto-resolve, I guess. Because there's not much point to do that again when I already know what the result is. Hopefully it just killed some more of their fleet. That would be nice. And there was pretty much no point for this. I just don't want to take any chances with the auto-resolve. Even though at worst case it would just destroy a single Corvette. So it probably is, might as well just auto-resolve to save us some time. It is gaining them experience though, which I don't really know if they'll gain if I auto-resolve. Or at least as reliably. But yeah, there's a lot of little skirmishes there, nothing too exciting to really talk about. Aside for the complete domination of the Ralyeh so far and the Vulfar. The Vulfar at least though is a legitimate conquest. Whereas the Ralyeh have that massive fleet. So this is going to be really simple. I could auto-resolve that, but hey, this is gonna be fast. No question about it. Because they still have no armor. It's just a shame, even though I've been forgetting the behavior stuff here. It's just a shame I can't just set the engagement range to be short in the shipyard there. There doesn't seem to be much of an option for it anyway. Which is a little unfortunate, because it would help maximize the damage of my antimatter cannons quite a bit. So that's pretty much been the theme of this recording so far, hasn't it? Nothing but lots of really tiny skirmishes. Maybe one or two bigger battles, but really, I gotta start focusing on dealing with those annoying fleets. Although, to be perfectly honest, it's probably better just to leave them there in the long. If I were to be smart in the long term, because that is eating up a lot of their fleet strength, and they're doing absolutely nothing with it. Which doesn't seem fair to do, because that's just gaming the system even more. The last belt has Belt of Pride, which I'm not sure which system that is. So I kind of made a decision there. Except for the Cox, I think I want to focus all my resources now on defeating these two giant armadas that are in my system or territory right now. The Fleet Armory and the fleet of Lewis and actually commit entirely to defeating them. So I'm just gonna pull everything back,